Hi, I am Marcia Bent from the Million Dollar Sales Record course, and today I'm going to share with you 5 book recommendations for this month that you could add to your toolkit as you aim to grow your businesses for 2023 and beyond. My first recommendation is a book called Questions That Sell. This book was written by Paul Cherry, and what I really appreciated with this book was that it really highlighted something that I had to learn from experience. The key to closing transactions successfully and closing the transactions that you want are by asking powerful questions. The keys to getting the answers that you want are also remembering that the persons on the other end of the questions have their own needs and interests. And unless you're able to connect to those needs or interests, you will never get what you actually want out of a transaction. So you need to know how to ask powerful questions. You need to know how to pick up other person's needs even without them actually explicitly saying it to you, because oftentimes people don't know what they want. And the best way to do so is by asking powerful questions. He who gains the most knowledge asks the best questions. So that's one book, Questions That Sell by Paul Cherry. The second book is Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. And what I really liked with this book is that it reminded me that at the start of every relationship, we all start off as strangers. Yes, you didn't know me before you actually started playing this video, unless you had probably met me for some other reason in my previous roles, or maybe I've interacted with you throughout my time serving talented salespersons and business owners. What I liked with that book was that it highlighted a fundamental thing in human relationships that we all, due to societal expectations and values, are actually influenced in our decision making. And in order to best talk to persons and turn them into friends and gain repeat business and get them to support you, you have to know to actually appeal to them as strangers and how to build that connection. This is something I'm still working on, so I might end up rereading this book, because guess what? Many times I do start off focusing on business because guess what? That's just my personality. And I am learning, as many of you are learning, how to effectively build connections with persons. That's a great book to start with. I really do think that you get a lot of value from reading it. Another book that you might find very useful is The Million Dollar Real Estate Agent book. That's written by Gary Keller, Jay Papasan, and Dave Jenks. Now, with this book, if you really want to learn different ways to lead generate, even if you're not a real estate agent, you need to read that book. If you want to learn business models that will help you to run your business effectively, even if you're not in real estate, you really want to read that book. And if you want to gain leverage by hiring the right talent so your business can grow and scale to a point where you really start getting returns and you can eventually take yourself out of the routine of working, that's a really good book that has powerful models that you can get a lot of value from, even if you're not a real estate agent. And if you are a real estate agent, baby, it's a good book to read. You're missing out if you're not reading that book. And that's a book that I've read maybe about 7 times now. Yeah, I've read that book a lot. So that's a book you really should read. Another book you should check out would be Fierce Conversations. I need to finish reading this book. I'm like 3/4 ways through. I actually read physical books to give my eyes a break. I stare at screens a lot. And what I like with this book is it encouraged me to take the bold step in introspecting my personal needs and understanding how that influenced my decisions, and also appreciating the need for being direct and asking questions to gain uncomfortable truths and using that uncomfortable truth to build connections. Is it uncomfortable? Yes, it's an uncomfortable truth. But at the same time, there is gold behind that uncomfortable truth And that goal can turn into business. That goal can turn into me realizing that a sales or marketing approach wasn't working for me, or a particular relationship wasn't working for me. Or it could even force me to ask a question that my client probably never thought about, that turns into $1 million transaction. Or I can get this relationship started just because I asked a question that nobody else did. Yes, there is a lot of power in having seemingly difficult or uncomfortable conversations, because that's where some of our greatest opportunities to gain meaning as human beings lie. We will always have conflict, and it's not, when you hear the term fierce conversations, it's not necessary for you to be combative. It's really just focusing on having the difficult conversations, or having the conversations that scare you, and you coming out on the other side gaining a lot more value from that experience. Last book, but also a very good book, is Persuasion. It's written by Lee Hartley Carter. And what I liked with this book was it actually took a non-conventional approach to persuading people. It looked on it more like a sense of seduction, and how it looks on it is that, people actually buy using emotions, and they justify their decisions later on using logic or facts. So if you really want to get people to buy something, everything is an impulse buy. Even if it is real estate, that initial point where they say, yes, I'm ready to buy this property or buy this car or whatever, sign up for this mortgage or buy this insurance policy or buy this new pair of shoes, it is an impulse buy, and it's done through emotion. In order for you to get that emotion that makes them want to do business with you, you have to know to cultivate it, and you can't sell based on facts. You have to sell using things that people care about. You have to sell using emotion. You have to know how to appeal to person's emotions to get them to actually sign up to do business with you. And a lot of it, yeah, does deal with seduction. Not necessarily sexuality. Come on, get your minds out the gutter. Seduction doesn't just involve that. But what that means is that you're really playing on emotions to get to a particular end goal. And it's a very powerful book. I really do think you should give that book a chance. Anyway, those are my 5 book recommendations for the month. Hopefully I can do this next month. I hope I was able to give you some insight as to some books that you probably can add to your library, to your reading material for the year, so you can get value. And if you found this video useful, please like it, subscribe to this channel, or follow me. Feel free to recommend it to anyone else that may have a need for the content and may get value from it. Please follow me on LinkedIn, leave a comment below, check out my other stuff, let me know what you think. I'd be happy to engage with you, and sign up for my sales course. I have a sales course that should be reopening on the 21st of December 2022, all things being well. Sign up for it, and that will be discussing how you can effectively set goals for 2023, come up with different strategies based on your personality for growing your business and auditing your business to ensure you get the value needed to take your business to the next level so it becomes $1 million business. Thank you so much for joining. That's it. Take care. Bye-bye.